have to tell me about Facebook or whatnot.
Yeah. We are live on Facebook.
Yeah,
and
but
YouTube.
I can't see on the
Oh,
screen,
yeah.
so
If there's any questions.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah,
Then we're
yeah,
live on TikTok.
so what up? Let this build up a little bit. Let people start coming in. Beautiful Monday. It's raining a lot right now, but thunderstorms and whatnot. But I like it. I like rainy days in May. Seems fitting. Oh, you can hear it now. It's loud, so I like that. I like that. It's a good month to have rain, I say. So
Well, I'll be honest.
it did. It does also sound like it got me out of doing a chore today.
Sure.
Yeah, and mowing the lawn.
Oh, yeah.
Don't have to mow the lawn today. Not the way it's raining, so have to chalk that up to another day. But yeah, and see, Simply Drea, what's up? Or Simply Dre. So no, Drea. It's probably Drea. So what up? So as people are filling in, you know, You Control You podcast. So
Drea, you're right.
yeah, cool.
You know me.
Yeah. I thought so, but like the name looks a little different though. So I like I don't maybe you just changed it to Simply Drea 84, but I just assumed it was you. So yeah. My name is Mark Shaw Evans. I always start the podcast off with what I'm grateful for. And most of all, I'm just grateful for life. Nothing big, nothing too crazy. I had a great weekend. I'm grateful for patience. I'm grateful to all my students and my fighters, my family, everything that I have. So, yeah, keep it really simple. Nothing too crazy today. Always grateful for my wife, always grateful for my kids, my loved ones. So, yeah, as we dive into this one, so I had someone on TikTok, and I just found out someone I also have trained before reach out to me. Oh, thank you, Corey. You know what, Corey? You're the man. I'm so grateful for you. Cause I'm looking at things and like I just see things typing up, man. Like this is dope. This is dope. I wonder if this is how Rogan feels with his guy. I can't remember his name, but like he's always like, yeah, pull up this video and do this and do this, and it's like Rogan just gets to sit there and get high. Like it's got to be dope. He gets to sip on some whiskey, get high, and just talk shit. So but anyway, let me dive into this shit for real. So I got asked about how to deal with grief, how to deal with loss. And I'm just gonna double check and make sure that I'm wording it correctly. So talk about grief and how to deal with that, such as losing a loved one. So as people are filling in, that's what I'm gonna talk about is dealing with grief, dealing with loss, how and again I'm gonna give you my point of view on how I've dealt with loss. And I'm also going to put out there things that I've read and things that I've researched in dealing with loss. So yeah, and then we'll get this party started. I don't have any videos for you today. But I will coming soon. Some clips that we're gonna do with our episodes. I've sent Corey over these two incredible YouTube videos. Is just I got to spend the time to chop them up and really go through what I want to talk about. So I'm excited about that as we go forward. Yeah. So when I think about how to deal with grief, when I think about ways I've dealt with grief. Now I've dealt with grief and loss on two extremes. And the more you tune into me, the more good morning, Michael. The more you tune in and listen to me, the more you follow me. I make no qualms about it. I'm on each side. I don't have a lot of middle ground on my actions. I'm either this or I'm this. The things I believe, the things I could talk about tend to be more gray area, but my actions are very black and white. They're on either end of the spectrum. So the question I got asked is, can I talk about how I've dealt with grief and how I've dealt with loss? Now, as far as grief, you can have grief in or go through grief in a multitude of ways, right? You suffer from grief in a breakup. Whoa, that's crazy. When dealing with a breakup, you can deal with grief. When you lose a job, right? Grief happens for a multitude of reasons, and it all has to do with some kind of loss. If you lose a game, if you lose a fight, if you lose in life, if you lose someone, whether it's someone that's a relationship or they lost their life, whatever it is, you typically deal with grief. If you lose a toy, kids go through grief of losing a toy, which is also it's like really funny because they haven't experienced any other grief or any other loss. So to them, that is like they've just lost, the entire world is shook, right? And you would talk the kid through it the same way you would have to deal with it. So when you're talking to a kid that just lost a toy or lost a game or lost in a video game, you break it down where, hey, this happens in life, and the best thing you could do is address your emotions, right? Let them out. But before you take any actions, sort through them a little bit, take a breath, calm down, and make some decisions going forward. So it's a little easier with kids because you're there to be their role model. You're there to hopefully calm them down and walk them through this. When you deal with the loss, and then specifically since this person asked about losing a loved one. Now, I didn't ask in what relationship or in what way they're losing the loved one, but I can speak from losing close friends to gun violence. I could speak about, losing my father or my grandmother. Losing my grandmother twice was rough. Once when she got booted out of the crib, and when she lost her life. So, Tyler, that sidetracked me. So when dealing with the loss of someone, that's a lot tougher because the first thing that happens when you lose someone is you instantly become, the best way to describe it is selfish. I lost this person. This person's no longer in my life. This person's no longer here. I'm hurt. I'm sad. I'm heartbroken. I'm grieving. And that's all normal emotions, right? It all makes sense. And it sucks and it's painful. And what really sucks is that you have this pain in your heart, in your gut, in your soul, but your brain understands that you've lost someone, but it doesn't quite understand the pain because you didn't prick yourself, you didn't pinch yourself, you didn't do something to cause this pain. So it's not quite sure how to navigate through it and figure its way out. It just knows that you're hurting right now. And that's the stage where people do a lot of the wrong thing. They'll try to cover up their emotions with drugs or alcohol, or they'll mask it with denial. They'll just focus on something else. And I can't speak on drugs and alcohol as much. I use my drug of choice, which was sex. So especially when I was younger, I would use sex as my drug of choice to deal with grief, right? And I would, if I was sad, if I was grieving, just have sex. It allows me to forget about it. I move on. Now, it didn't work really, but at least I was getting a high during that grief most of the time. So, and basically that's what anybody's looking for when they do something like drugs, alcohol, they get into fights, whatever. They're one, trying to punish themselves and looking for a high. And that's when I said you really got to take that time to deal with your own emotions before you just run off and take actions. Because just like anything else, if you start making decisions and base your actions off of your emotions, you no longer control you. You're out of control now, and the actions you take are also going to be out of control. And most of the time they're not going to work to your favor. So it's tough. It's tough for sure. When my grandmother died, I beat the hell out of bricks, which is stupid now that it's really stupid when you think about it. I was so hurt and so mad. My shining light died, right? I just went outside and beat the hell out of some bricks, and that sucks. So not only is my heart hurting and my gut and my emotions and my brain, but now my hands hurt. But now my brain has something to comprehend. Okay, I'm in pain because I hit bricks, right? And then I just shut down all the emotions. And like I just stated, I've also had sex to try to cover it up, which also didn't do anything. And I see Nikki posted on TikTok, she said, we just want to forget and numb the pain. Exactly. That's all I'm trying to do. I'm trying to numb one pain with another. It's like if you bang your arm on a door and you're like, oh man, that hurt. And then someone punches your other arm. They're like, does it still hurt? Like you might still have that pain, but now the only pain you can think about is the pain that's in the other arm. So you sort of tricking your brain like, no, don't focus on this pain, focus on this pain, right? And that's the point of doing drugs, alcohol, sex, whatever the case may be. And that's, in those cases, that's the wrong thing to do, right? The best way I can say, and I mean when losing friends, when losing my father or my stepfather, and even though like everyone says I shouldn't have been in pain over my stepfather, he was still a man in my life, and it doesn't matter how bad it was, I still felt the loss. I still had to grieve that. And you have to allow yourself to go through the process. One, be okay with crying it out. Be okay writing it out. Be okay talking to yourself about it. I encourage a lot of my students sometimes when they're dealing with something, if you don't want to write it out, just record yourself on your phone, record audio, record a video, and just talk. You don't necessarily, I'm not saying you have to post it or do anything crazy. You just need to get it out of your brain. You need to get it out of your soul, and you need to put it somewhere. So it's a way to vent, because you could be mad that they're passed away. You could be mad at them for anything. And being sad, being angry, being all this stuff, that is normal human behavior. That's normal human emotions. So you have to find a way to get it out, because the longer you bury it, the harder it is to let out, and it'll come out at the wrong times. And so it's getting it out and doing what you got to do. Tanisha says, I lift extra heavy or work on kicking the bags harder. Yeah, that's the thing. I'll get to that point. I'll get to that, because you should do something to help get some of that energy out and that steam out. But there's healthy ways to do it. So, but venting is a great way to really get it out of your soul. Now, for me, venting isn't always the first thing that comes to mind, because I may not even have all the words put together yet to really say it. And if I do start, it just might be pure emotions and I won't be able to talk. So as Tanisha brought up, lifting heavy or kicking the bag. So finding a healthy outlet, maybe it's, for some people it's swimming, running, biking. For me, it was probably the heavy bag. I know when I've been grieving before, I would go work a heavy bag and I might punch it harder with gloves on and go to work. Kicking a bag, working out, because one, it allows me to focus on something. It allows me to focus on something other than the grief I'm going through. And I could just lose myself in that and go through my emotional roller coaster while I'm doing this, right? So that's all good. And then I might be able to articulate my emotions better. So those are the first stages of grief, right? Is dealing with your own emotions. And all of them are on point. I know some people, they get mad at the person that died and they're like, oh my God, that's so wrong. No, it's okay. Because they left. They're no longer here. Express that. Get that out. Your emotions aren't wrong. The actions you take off of them are wrong. Because eventually your logical mind can start coming in and say, okay, they didn't actually leave me. They're just not here anymore. It's like you have to go through the ego. Let the ego work itself out. And you can do that by getting the words out there, by getting the emotions out of there, by physically doing some work that is healthy for you and not going to destroy future you. I talked about that on the last podcast about not making decisions that help future you. That's ideally what you want. And so you want to help future you. So as long as you're doing that, you're all good. So we have working out, we have talking, we have writing, we have maybe therapy. Some people like to talk to someone else, maybe talk to someone, a priest, a preacher, a therapist, a friend that's going to offer a lending ear and listen. So all those are great stages of dealing with that loss. The next part that really helps me is I focus on the good times, right? I focus on the dope memories. Now with my stepfather, I never recall a whole lot of them, but there are some. So I recall those. With anyone I've lost, I recall the dope memories because it brings joy into my life and allows me to finish letting them go, right? Like I said, it works for me. The next thing that really helps me out here is this is the tougher one for me, is realizing they were never mine to hang on to. They never belonged to me. They never owed me anything. I just need to be grateful and blessed that they were a part of my life and I was a part of theirs. And that coincides with remembering the good times, is that I learned something from them being in my life. And hopefully I taught them something in their life. I brought something to their life because whether it was a good interaction or bad interaction, I've learned something from them. I've experienced them. And it's funny because now I'm gonna go into a sci-fi realm. So follow me here. What do the Jedi in Star Wars always talk about? No attachments. This is what they truly meant by having no attachments. The issue is that they didn't really, they just, because everybody started so young with them, it was easier to get the message across. But things got messed up when you bring someone like Anakin in, who's already 9 or 10. So this is ideally what they meant. Everybody that comes, when you have an interaction with someone, they're not yours, right? I have a kid, the child is my responsibility, and the child, in quote unquote, is my child, but in the grand spectrum of life, they're not mine. I don't own them, right? I'm married. My wife is my responsibility. This is my wife, but I don't own them. My responsibility, my wife, but I don't own her, right? And so if they pass away, the goal is to, yes, be sad and go through all that, but the goal is to get to a point where it's like, hey, they taught me so much in my life. We had so many dope experiences. And that's all life is. Life is experiences so you can learn and become wiser. So you experience this stuff with someone and you go through life with someone and you're learning and you're gaining experiences and you're becoming a wiser person because of it. And if they're no longer here, it doesn't mean that it was a waste of time. It doesn't mean that they weren't of value and you weren't of value to them. You shared all these great life experiences, and that makes it easier to let them go. Because if you hang on to it and you hang on tight to, oh my God, they're not here anymore. Oh my God, they're not here. They're not here. They're not with me. They're not with me. And you keep grabbing and tighter and tighter and tighter, you actually lose them. You lose the memory of them. You don't do them justice. They're no longer here to live life. You are. You are blessed to continue living life, so continue to live it, right? Continue to move forward with your life. Continue to shine. Continue to take their experiences and hand that to someone else. Doesn't matter in what way, right? But you start to hand it off to someone else. And that's when you think about it that way, when you break it down that way, it's such a dope thing to do. Because if you just hang out in that grief and that sadness, if they were alive, would they want you to do that? If they were standing right next to you, would they feel like, would they tell you, hey, you're respecting what I meant to your life. You're respecting the position I had in your life by just staying in the darkness, by staying in this well of despair? Or would they tell you, no, I want you to be joyful. I want you to live your life because I'm not here to live it. I have to imagine most people would want the latter, like live your life. And that next step is very tough for people to do because in a way, you have to let them go. You have to let the physical aspect of them go and just enjoy the memories that you had, enjoy their spirit, enjoy what they really were to you. So, like, I'm hoping that this is making sense. Can you scroll? I use parent, child feels emotion, parent feelings, adult helps push forward. Yeah. My biggest fear is losing my dad. I'm so scared I won't be able to handle it and use what? Kat says, my biggest fear is losing my dad. I'm so scared I won't be able to handle it. And what do you mean by use? Or maybe you put something else. As far as your biggest fear, I'll tell you the best way I could word this is that, Kat, your feelings make sense. There's days where I think, I'm like, man, if I lost my mom, like that actually scares the living crap out of me. That puts a hole in my heart when I think about it. Like I want to cry sometimes when I think about losing my mom. My mom is my mom, yo. So it's like, however, with that said, I can't spend time living in that fear because it's not here. It's not here. And if I live in fear of that, right, I will miss the moments in real time. I will miss real time moments. I won't be able to experience life with her the same way I would if I wasn't afraid. So I'm gonna just enjoy the time I have, enjoy the conversations I have with my mom. When we talk, have a deeper conversation, right? And just enjoy her for who she is, right? And then when she's gone, she's gone. But that doesn't take away from all the memories that I had. So for you, Kat, like your dad, it sounds like you have a great dad. Your dad is your world. Enjoy him while he's here. Enjoy the time you have with him. Enjoy conversations. Enjoy, like I would say, seek out conversations, right? Ask questions. Talk about the things he enjoys. Get to know him. Learn about his childhood, if you can. Like Corey and I were just talking about how, you know, I'm about to be 44. Corey, you're late 30s?
Oh, I'm old. Where you are?
Corey's about to be, my bad. You just, you look young, bruh. So, Irish Brian, what's up? Good morning, sir. So Corey, you know what? That's right. We are the same age. I forget that sometimes. So Corey, we're from the same generation where men didn't talk. So we didn't know much about our fathers' childhoods or anything like that. And so go pick that brain, right? Go figure out about his childhood. Find out about what's going on in his life. And if you can't remember it, make notes, right? It's ask him if there's anything he wishes he would have done in his life. Like ask him for advice. Like what I love most about when I go, like if I'm going through something, I call them pops, right? My brothers, we all lived on the same block. Now we're not blood brothers, but we all lived on the same block. Like their dads, it's one of the few blocks where everybody had their dad, right? Across the board, everybody, but I'm sorry, there were two houses that didn't have that. 3 houses, damn. Okay, maybe there were just 3 of us that had dads. Now that I think about it, 4 of us had dads. But their dads were someone I talked to all the time. Like 2 of them are my brothers. One of them, I would talk to her dad, and her dad taught me a lot actually. But all the dads taught me something, and all the dads put confidence within me and helped me out. And one of them is still around. We call him Pops, and we all, like for me, I ask him questions. He gives me advice anytime I talk to him, even if I don't ask for it. And so, and I love that sometimes. I know I remember coming to him and I'm like, man, I'm so mad at my brother. Like I'm so mad. And I was talking about my blood brother because like he's this, that, he's doing this, he's doing that. And he was like, you got to let that go. Because what if he's not here? And it hit me. I'm like, man, you right. And this was younger me. So that message has always stuck with me and helped me propel to who I am now, giving essentially the same advice to people. Like sometimes you got to let it go. You got to let it go. What are you hanging on to it for? So it's this perspective of asking questions and learning about your dad. So Kat, you'll be able to continue living when your dad's not here because that's what he would want for you. Ask your dad. When Kat, if you're still on here, I would say go ask your dad, right? Go ask your dad what he would like you to do when he passes away. And I guarantee you it's not going to be lay around crying every day for the next 10 years for him. He's going to understand you got to mourn, but he's going to say, hey, I want you to go live your life. Go do this, go do that. And the best thing you could do is if he says, hey, you really love this, you should go do this, or I want you to go do that. Like, let's say, man, I want you to go, I'm just throwing it out there. you know, I want you to go see the Grand Canyon. Well, why do you want me to see the Grand Canyon? I don't know. That was something I always wanted to do. I want that for you. You know what you could do now? Take your pops to go to the Grand Canyon with you. That's a memory, right? And I'm just giving an example. So continue to live your life. It's going to be hard. There's no qualms. Like, don't get it twisted. It's going to be painful. It's going to hurt. It's going to feel like literally your heart's breaking. And it's such a weird feeling. But I promise you, there is the other side of the fence. This is now a learning experience to deal with loss. Because a lot of times the only experiences we get is sometimes wins. We don't always experience the losses until later. I am very grateful and very blessed that I dealt with a lot of loss early in my life. And I didn't used to think that way. I used to think, why am I dealing with this? Like, God, what are you trying to show me? What are you trying to do to me here? Like, why are you putting me through this? And it's such a victim mind frame that you cannot see the positives in it. When I started thinking differently, it's like, okay, I'm learning lessons. You're teaching me how to deal with loss. It's one of the best things that I remember being told is when my stepfather passed away. And by this time, a lot of people knew that I didn't have a great relationship with my stepfather. And they didn't know to the extent. But when my mom hit me up and told me this, the first thing I did was, okay, I just took control of the situation. I already understood losing people so much by then that I knew my job right then to be the rock for everybody else. So I told my mom, okay, this is what I need you to do. Write down this information. I'm on my way there. So I drove the 60 to 90 minutes to my mom's, and I contacted the funeral home. I started making phone calls to the family. I started different family members setting things up, and then talking to my mom. Okay, are we doing a casket? Are we doing, are we cremating? Okay, cool. He was in the military, so let me call the let me figure out what we got to do there and make sure that people are there to, fold the flag and shoot the right, and go through the steps, right? And when my uncle came up to me at the funeral and everybody's walking past and shaking hands and doing whatever and giving my mom a hug and kiss, my uncle said, "I'm proud of you. Thank you for stepping up." Because my job is, in my mind, I'm like, I'm going to be as stoic as possible. I drove my mom to the funeral. It's my job. He already had 3 kids when he married my mom, but out of the kids with my mom, I am the oldest. It is my job. Now, I was very conflicted on the way driving there. So I cried it out and I didn't want to talk. And when I left, I cried it out and still didn't want to talk, and I had to deal with it. And I was conflicted because I have so many bad memories that I didn't know how to deal with. Like, my brain was fighting it. But I worked it out, right? But my job was be there for everyone else, handle my business, make sure it gets done, and then I have to properly go through it so I am not a shell of myself for my kids. So, what's up? Who wants a hand? Oh my goodness, I don't even want to say the name. Almost got me on that one. Almost got me. Irish Brian says, God gives us opportunities to be courageous or strong and kind or loving. Yeah. And who wants a chimed in and just said, good morning, handsome. Hey, good morning. Boy, I almost said that. Hey, I like that name. That name is a setup. Yeah. That name is an automatic setup. I really enjoy your life. Thank you. I appreciate you so much. And I appreciate all of you in here. Remember, the goal is 15,000, no, 20, what is it?
I think we're at 20,000.
Yeah, we want to hit 20,000 likes, so make sure you're doing that. Tanisha says, my brain and heart still struggle with the physical loss of my dad and grandfather. Yeah, and who wants the topic today is dealing with grief. How I dealt with grief, how I dealt with loss and losing someone close to me. So, Tanisha, I will say the brain and heart, it I know people always say it gets better. I don't know if it necessarily gets better. You just become more accustomed. It's like, and Tanisha, I can say this to you because now you're doing technique. It's like the first time you throw a kick at someone and you feel it on your shin, you're like, oh my God, what is this? And by the 100th time, it's better. And by the 10,000th time, it still hurts, but your brain knows how to deal with the pain now. So it knows where to put it. It knows what it's like, cool, I'm used to this. So what happens is you get used to them not being there. And the pain doesn't really go away. You just get used to it. And that's the beauty of the lesson. Because when you go through losses, right? You go through this pain, it allows you to grow and become stronger. So when they say it makes you stronger, it really does, because now you understand loss on a different level than someone else that hasn't dealt with that. And now the goal is you learn from it. So you go through the stages of grief, you move through it, you handle it. The pain is still there, but now you have a different understanding, and it allows you to have empathy and understanding of someone else's grief. So, and the funny thing is like, if someone says, well, I lost this person and you've only lost this person. Okay, cool. I get that. Loss is loss. I started this podcast saying a little kid, a 2-year-old that loses a toy, is going to go through the same grief, that feeling of someone losing their parent. It's the same. It's just their own perspective, right? This kid's point of view is like, I am going through loss. You can't tell them they're not going through the same loss that you just went through, losing a family member or friend. It's the same thing. It's our perspective of it. And you only realize that when you suffer a certain amount of losses. For some people, it's the first one. I know people that suffered a loss and have instant empathy for anyone else that's lost anyone. Kudos to them. They learned the lesson right away. For me, it took me way more lessons. I had to get through my ego. I had to sift through my ego and realize that, yeah, this sucks. Losing sucks. Losing someone sucks. Doesn't matter who they are. It's the same feeling. It's just deeper to us, depending on the deeper connection of who they are or what it is that we lost. I'm hoping that's making sense to everybody right now. It's we as humans are very selfish, and we struggle with looking outside our own perspective, our own point of view. If we can open our minds and our heart and look outside from an outside perspective, right? That allows us to see that, oh my goodness, this person losing their dad, this person losing their sibling, this person losing their dog, this person losing their friend, this person losing a child, this person losing a cousin. Once you lose someone, you understand the feeling of loss. And then you can say, well, man, I lost my cousin. If this was my parent, I can imagine how, like, you could start to do that, and that's empathy. That's having understanding of the emotions, right? And so you never get used to it. You just learn how to live your life anyway. And you live it for them. And that's where thinking about the positive memories and remembering the things you loved about them and the things that it's like, oh my goodness, that was great. Because you can't, losing someone hurts. But now it's your job to live for them. if that makes sense. Could you scroll up a little bit, Corey? Thank you, sir. Okay, Michael, I got the Relentless book, and I've read a quarter of it. It already changed me. Good. I think it maybe gets easier. Yeah, I mean, I guess you could say it gets easier in the sense that you learn how to live your life day to day. But I don't know, like when the holidays come, you still miss them, right? If it was an anniversary, you still miss them. If it was a birthday, you miss them. Like you feel it, and it's like it's all there. It's like you're starting over. So I don't know if it gets easier because the pain is still there. The pain doesn't go away. It's just you learn to live with the pain. My friend once told me what I went through wasn't for me, it was for me to be able to help you. Let me say that again. My friend once told me what I went through wasn't for me, it was for me to be able to help you. Yeah, it's in that sense, it's why I feel like I have to do this. Why I believe this is my calling. My calling is to coach. Like I believe that I seen someone say up there, who am I? And that's a dope question that I believe everyone should ask themselves. Who am I? If I tell you, if someone asks me who I am and I say, well, I'm Mark Shaw Evans. No. That's a name I was given. Mark Evans is the name I was given, right? That's not who I am. Because I wouldn't call into work, as Bob Proctor says, I wouldn't call into work and say, I sick, right? I wouldn't say, I don't say I car, my I body, I mind. I believe who I am. I believe I am a coach. I believe I am a teacher. I believe in my soul of souls, this is my purpose. This is who I am. Since I've been a little kid, it's always what I've loved to do. And I have found different ways to do it. I believe that I was given all the struggles, all my experiences at an early age to help me help others, to give me the insight, to give me the ability. And I'm sure I could have been doing this 20 years ago if I wasn't so damn hard-headed and egotistical, which also helps me, but gets in my way because I've had to learn the same lessons over and over. And so I believe all the pain that we go through is to give us the ability to help someone else, right? To help someone else move through something, and then hopefully they pass it on. Pain is pain. Yep. What do you mix with? I am. Handy. Yeah, I'm gonna just call you Handy. There we go, Handy. I'm a mutt. I'm mixed with lots of different things. When I DNA test says, not DNA test, but yeah, that is a DNA test, right? Mm-hmm. When you do all that, African descent, Hispanic, mostly, mainly Mexican, and then lots of different European. Europe's prevalent there, with some Asian and some other things. I'm just a mutt. So Celeste says God controls me. Interesting. My grandmother, so my wife's grandmother, so instead of saying grandmother-in-law, my grandmother, she said that on a post I put, and it made me really think. I'm like, okay, if I have this discussion with someone who is religious, how would this go? And the way I believe I would word it, and the way I'm going to bring it to you today is, God is in control of everyone, but God has given us the ability to make our own choices and be in control of our own path within reason. If God has laid out multiple paths in front of us, or God has given us the ability to do right and wrong, good or bad, good or evil, good or whatever the case may be, right? We are blessed with the choice So because we are blessed with this choice, you control you. Now you could choose to live a life according to what God says, but that's still your choice, right? You control you. You could choose to live it by this other way. You control you. So no matter what, you are controlling your actions. You control you. We are gifted with a rule set that could make our life easier within reason, spiritually better, mentally better, right? But you have to make the choice. That is the greatest gift that we are ever given, is choice. You want to go into the matrix? You want the blue pill or the red pill? Do you want to live life blissfully ignorant, oblivious to what's going on? Or do you live a life that is hard, that tells you the truth, that doesn't lie, that isn't based in materialistic things? It's based in being a good person, being loving to your family, yada, 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 yada. So I'm not disagreeing with you, Celeste. I would just say it goes deeper than just saying God controls me. Because if you don't go to work tomorrow, that's your choice. God gave you the option. Your choice. You choose. Irish Brian, free will. Yeah, free will. Free will's a kicker, boy, let me tell you. Because you can make the wrong choices, and you may not know you're making the wrong choices till later on. And Handy, thank you. I don't know what to really say to that. Like, thank you. I appreciate you thinking I'm handsome. I get lots of interesting messages on my videos and stuff like that, and I appreciate it. I feel very blessed that there are a group of people out there that find me attractive and think I'm handsome. I appreciate that. I'm very thankful that my wife also thinks that I'm handsome. So it's like my smile gets me very far with her sometimes. So, and that's when he gives you an opportunity. Yeah, when you make decisions, like the right decisions and good decisions, and I'll say it like this: I wouldn't say there's any right decisions, quote unquote. What I'll say is good decisions that just aren't based in the betterment of you, but in the betterment for others. Yes, opportunities will eventually come, most definitely. Hopefully, talking about grief and how to deal with it, I gave you some insight. It's hard. I'm not going to sit here. Handy, yes, I'm married.
Talking about loss.
I didn't know that. And your loss, I mean, yeah, my wife would say so. But what I will say is that there's plenty of good men out there. There's plenty of attractive light-skinned brothers out there that, and I don't mean brother as far as just black, I mean just fellow men that are motivated and ready to go get it. And there might be some extremely light-skinned brothers and extremely dark-skinned brothers out there. So I would ask you, why are you looking for these men right there? And then how are you looking for these men? Because that's a whole nother conversation too. God controls our surroundings, but we control ourselves and what we do with the surroundings. Boom, yes, there we go. Grief is difficult, but it does make you realize the strength you never knew you had. Yes. Within loss, it unlocks certain parts of you. Here's the thing. We are given everything. We are given everything. What's the name of that book? Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm gonna have to Google this real quick because it's not coming to mind right now. You were born rich. You were born rich, meaning everything is within us. Everything that you need is within us already. It was given to us already. We just have to unlock it. And it's funny because Corey and I were Corey and I were having this discussion that what did I say? I said, oh my goodness, I'm so sorry for doing this.
About James Baldwin?
No, it was after that. It was about just going through loss to learn stuff.
Oh, with the basketball team?
Yeah, basically what I'm saying, and if it pops in my head, I'll say it then. But everything is within us, and we have to figure out how to unlock it. And that's why when people get to a certain age, this is what we were talking about.
Oh, yeah.
When we get to a certain age, right, we stop taking chances. We stop going for wins. We no longer want to go through losses, the possibility of taking a loss. So because we don't want to go through that loss, right, we can't grow. Old dog can't teach an old dog new tricks. You can. It's just as you get older, you've already experienced wins, you've already experienced losses, and the extremes that you have to go through to be able to learn the new experience can be tough. But if you keep doing that, you'll gain something out of it. That's why you see so many people now working out into their older age, because they can unlock something new within themselves emotionally, mentally, physically, and it can help them throughout life. So maybe that a person through their 40s or 50s could only do 4.5 miles, right? But now they turn 50 and they're like, nope, we're doing 5. And that last mile, they fail at it. But at 51, they hit it. They just pushed themselves through something that's extremely hard and difficult, and they've learned something from those losses. And so, well, the one quote, I don't lose, I win or I learn. Yeah. But don't get it twisted with that quote. You want to learn while you're winning too. You can learn a lot while you're winning. So you just got to stay hungry. So I'm one of those people, and I love, this is where I really enjoy my mind, is that I always want to solve something. I always want to learn something. Otherwise I get bored and I get stagnant. And I don't like that feeling, because then I feel tired, I feel run down. I want to learn something. So I will go out there and try to learn. Like, I'm excited about listening to Terrence Howard and Joe Rogan talk. And it's funny because it upset my wife so much, because Terrence Howard is talking about multiplication, and he's talking about 1 times 1. How does that equal 1? If I take 1 of something and multiply another thing, I should have, like, and he's just coming up with this new way of thinking about math. And I have such an open mind to new things that I just want to hear about it. I may not even agree with it, but I want to hear about it. I want to learn about it. And that is everything. It's just constantly wanting to learn and get better. Could you scroll back up, please?
Yep.
It's learning how to unlock. It is what makes us strong. Yeah, for sure. Stacy, hey, what's going on? Always be humble about life. True. Thanks for the hope. What do you mean hope? Well, you got to hope there's a good man. There's plenty of good men out there. What are you looking for? That's a conversation. Please, Handy, let me know what you're looking for. What are you looking for in a man? That should be interesting. But everything's within us. We just got to find ways to unlock it. And we got to push ourselves to unlock these things. Someone like David Goggins has unlocked so many levels of himself. I don't know if I have what it takes to unlock what he's unlocked. And on the flip side, sometimes I wonder, because he said the things he talks about, I'm like, yeah, I've been talking about that for the past decade. I've been talking about that for the past 15 years. So I'm like, oh man, I knew it already. I got it because of the life I've lived, right? But I will say, like, certain things have unlocked new levels of me. I've talked about it before. I've dealt with more racism than anyone I know. And my viewpoint on racism is way different. I tell the kids that I mentor, they're like, "Oh, he's racist." I'm like, "You know that for a fact?" "Well, why is he treating me this way?" "How do you know that's based on your skin color? And if it is, why is that stopping you from going forward?" And it's such a weird viewpoint, but I've dealt with racism so much. It's like if I let that stop me, I wouldn't be here right now. If I would have dealt with the hate of men and let that stop me, I wouldn't be here right now. So when I have conversations with women, I can empathize with what they're going through, just like I can empathize with the kids, right? But it's like you can't let that stop you from moving forward. You got a life to live. We still got to go forward here. And so it becomes a very deep and dark conversation. And it comes down to you got to continue to move forward and live your life. You can't let the bad things that's happened to you sit you down forever. It'll sit you down for a minute, but you got to get back up and keep going forward. So it's like we have all this inside of us. We just got to like unlock it, and it's better if we unlock it ourselves. And sometimes, depending on your beliefs, God to unlock it for you. God will be like, "Hey, I need you to have this unlocked right now. Go through it." There you go. So that's usually how I view that. We're at 5,000 likes. 5,000 likes. I am putting it out there. We are trying to reach 20,000 likes before I get off air. 20,000 likes. I don't know what we got to do to get there, but y'all just drop it on me. And yeah, dealing with grief is hard though, yo. Dealing with grief, going through stuff, it's complicated, it's rough, it's tough. But would we enjoy anybody in our life if there wasn't the possibility of losing them? I get clowned sometimes because tap, tap, and tap. Oh, thank you, Jay Diamonds. I appreciate the tapping. Appreciate you so much. So, like when I think about this, when some people clown that my son says, "I love you" so much, and that we'll say "I love you" to each other. A lot of people are blown away at how my kids and I interact. My son's about to be 14. I still give him a hug and a kiss on his forehead. We got a handshake. We do the man stuff too. We do the bro stuff too. My daughter and I got a handshake, but a constant hug and kiss, especially when we leave. It's a "I love you" on the phone before goodbye. And they were raised like that because I've lost so many people and didn't get to say goodbye, didn't get to say "I love you," didn't get to go through those things. And I know how much that sucks. And it's hard for me to have, what do they call those elevator conversations, right? Where it's just like, "Hey, what's up? Hey, what's up?" Nothing, and just let it be. I don't like those conversations. I want, even if it's 30 seconds, "Hey, how are you?" I genuinely want to know how you are. "Man, I'm doing good, man. Life is good." "Oh, cool." "Oh, man, I'm having a crappy day today." "Oh, man, why?" "Man, that sucks, bro." "Well, man, I gotta go right now, but text me. Let me know, text me if you need something." Like, I want interactions to be deep because I don't know if that's gonna be the last time we ever interact. If I die, I want you to know that I actually gave a shit. When I meet someone new, I want to hear about them. Like, "Hey, da 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 da." And it's amazing because I just shut up and listen and people just talk. If I didn't have anything to do, I could talk to someone at the gas station and they would literally talk my head off for an hour. It's happened plenty of times. So it's like, it's amazing when you just lead with that love and understand and the understanding that they're not going to be here forever. You treat them differently. You appreciate them differently, right? And within that appreciation of that, like, you grow something dope. And if you feel like, or if you believe you didn't appreciate them as much, that's okay. That sucks. Yeah, I get it. But now learn that lesson. And now show someone else you appreciate them while they're here. You notice how most people show more appreciation for people when they die than when they were here. Well, now you're doing that just for you, because you're not doing that for them because they're not here. Where was that appreciation for them when they were here? That's why I like telling people that they're dope. And when they're doing something dope, it's like, man, that's dope. Get it. I like being a good hype man. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's fun for me because I know they may not be here. And I want them to know that they're dope, yo. It's a dope thing. Okay, so I see people chiming in. Can you scroll up? I'm gonna get some water. Okay. I appreciate you for blowing them likes up. Appreciate you. Me too, bro. I love my kids. Wow, this is why I love your lives. True meaningful conversation. Thank you so much. It hit me when you said, why let the hate of someone else hold you back? That's my life. You know what I feel like right now? That just gave me chills. I feel like, have you ever seen those videos here? Don't scroll anymore. Yep. Corey, have you seen those videos where someone's reading Lil Wayne's verses, saying Lil Wayne's verses back to him? And he's like, ooh, I said that. That's how I felt right there. It's like, ooh, I said that? Like, ugh. Why let the hate of someone else hold you back? Exactly, yo. Exactly. And the same could be said, why let the death of someone you love stop you from living your life? Bars. Ooh, 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 ooh. I'll say that again. So Irish Brian just hit me with, why he loved it when I said, why let the hate of someone else hold you back? First of all, that's dope. Incredible. Glad I said that. Let's piggyback off that, right? With the same mind frame. Why let the loss of someone close to you that you loved hold you back from living your life? If anything, that should inspire you to live a more fulfilled life. Oh, bars. It gives you the option to have all the information. Come on, let's tap for them likes. Oh man, I'm loving y'all so much for that. My aunt calls that the death pedestal. Yeah. Donna, hey Donna, how you doing? Welcome. But it did take 50 years to learn that outside of needing to hear from you. And look, there is no timeline on when you need to learn something. There is no timeline because there's people that die before they're even brought into this earth. There's people that die when they're 150, and there's people that die when they're 20. There is no timetable. So when you learn the lesson, you're meant to learn the lesson. Period. And that's all you can do about it. I'm glad you learned that lesson. I'm glad that I was here to give you that message. But don't get it twisted. I mess up all the time. I'm constantly learning. I'm constantly learning from my own mistakes. I'm constantly learning from other people's mistakes. I'm constantly studying and learning because contrary to what some people believe, I believe we were meant on this earth to learn and give back. Learn, give back. Learn, give back. Experience, learn, give back. That's it. Otherwise, life is kind of boring. What are you living life for if you're not experiencing something to learn? I'm just going to experience this and not learn anything from it? So what was the point of doing that? Right? Oh, it was fun. Great. What'd you learn? Did you gain something from it? And the funny thing is, you don't even know that you could have gained something until maybe 10 years later when you do something else and it clicks. I get it. I understand that now. Wow. And you could have been painting a fence and someone said something or something happened And then you could have been making a pizza 10 years later and something just clicks. Oh my, I get it now. I get it. I understand it. And that's so crazy. It's so crazy how that works. Could you scroll back? Man, people are really chiming in now. It's hard to keep up. Oh, we're at 10,000 likes. Oh my goodness, we're halfway there. Y'all trying to tease a brother. Yes, sir. Saying, look at me. I'm seeing this feeling like a freshman on campus today. Oh no, we're all freshmen in life. We're all freshmen in life. That's the beauty of life. You get me around some older people or someone my age that's experienced a lot more, woo, I feel slow. And this is the beauty of it. I've talked about this before. You have to put yourself in situations where you're allowing yourself to learn, to be a better leader. I love it when I'm around instructors that I respect, and I just shut up. And I'm like in awe. I'm like, yo, especially when I bring my old instructor for a seminar and he's going around teaching students and he says it in like 3 words and it takes me 3 sentences sometimes, right? He breaks it, and that's when you know you're mastering something, when you can explain it in a simple way. And I love the fact sometimes I get excited when I explain something in a very simple way and they're like, why are you so vague? I'm not vague. I'm just telling you, I'm giving you exact commands. I'm giving you exact instructions, right? But I have to put myself in situations where I got to learn. And whether that's sometimes with my wife, sometimes with instructors, I'll do it with my students. I'll have my students hold pads for me. And it's funny because they'll start talking to me and they'll be like, well, what did you want to work on? Am I doing this right? I'm like, look, you're in charge. Tell me what you want me to do. And if you tell me what to do, I'll do it. And one of my fighters gotten really good because he'll start doing something. I'm like, yes, sir. It's like the roles have flipped now because I can only learn something from this experience if I put myself in that situation where, yeah, I have to, yes, sir. You're in charge now because you're the one telling me what to do and you're on pads. You're in charge. And it's such a dope feeling. And I don't think enough of us do that in life, right? I do that with my son. Like if I'm teaching my son a playbook or going over plays, I want him to coach me up because it's a different insight. And now he's got to learn it better, right? So what's up? Someone said something about relationships. Same goes for a relationship, learn from each other and give back. Yes, of course. Jay Diamonds, LOL. Man, if you're one of the person killing those like buttons, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Y'all, I feel so blessed today. Y'all are killing it. Flip the role and let them lead. Yeah, but you could do that with this. You could do that with anyone, right? Just keep switching the roles and letting them lead, letting them do their thing. I'm telling y'all. And I don't know how we got here from grief, but I'm glad that we did. I'm glad we took that ride. And Irish Brian, I appreciate you so much for always supporting and letting me know that my words are helping you. I appreciate you. And hopefully that some of you can take my words and mutate them into your own and help somebody else out. I love hearing my daughter give advice. I love when I'm hearing my instructors give advice because when they first start, they say it almost verbatim how I said it. And then after about 6 months to a year, they figure out their own flow and now they're saying it differently. And it's like, oh man, that's dope. That's so dope. And I learned something then too, because they're saying it differently. I'm like, oh man, that's clever how they said that. That's dope. I like the wordplay they had on that. That's super dope. Hey, Handy never told us what kind of man she was looking for, did she? Well, you know what? I don't know if it's a man or a woman. So I'm sitting here talking. I don't know. Helping me is an understatement. I'm mad I didn't get the bell notification when you went live. Yeah, here, let me school you again. Don't be mad. You got the notification. You figured out I was online when you figured it out. No big deal. No need to be mad. Let it be. It is what it is. I haven't got this thing completely down like science yet. Sometimes I'm on closer to 10. Sometimes I'm on at closer to 10:30. So it is what it is. Don't be mad by it, though. I saw you in the bubble. Right, exactly. Cool, yes. Because we're at 13K. Man, I swear we were just at 12K.
Yeah, we were just.
Now we're at 13K. Y'all keep spoiling me. We are 7 away. I don't know what I'm going to do if I hit 20, but I'll probably say thank you. I wish I could say I'll do something crazy, but I'm not going to do anything crazy. And Facebook and YouTube, I appreciate y'all too. Y'all got any questions or something that, but on some, never been married but felt divorced, so the only man I want is God. Ooh. 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 Ooh, diamonds. Jay Diamonds. Okay. That hit me hard. Look, I think that's dope that the only man you want is God. I will say it's funny. As I get older, I understand why people should wait longer to have sex. You did get me. You did get me with that one. That was dope. So you choosing, if you're saying I want to put God first, that's great. That's great. I believe that everyone should have a belief system, whatever that is. It's not my place I don't judge, and I don't believe that people should tell someone else what to believe. I believe in God. I also believe there's aliens. So, whatever. My belief is in God, right? I believe there is an all being. And even if that's just to make me feel safer and give me rules, because I can, like, if I don't have rules, because my moral compass and I know this is from my trauma, I just look at life very differently. Not too many things bother me. My moral compass is pretty straightforward. If I mess with you, I'm loyal to you. If I don't care. That's how I want to live my life. Now, believing in God gives me different kind of boundaries, right? Different rule sets. So I would definitely say having a belief in something will give you different rules. I will say I seen the works with my Lord and Savior in Jesus Christ. Can you scroll back down? 14K. Oh my goodness. We're going to hit today's mark. I'm losing it. I'm on some, never been married but felt divorced. So when you say felt divorced, who did you feel divorced from? That's what I'm curious about now. Did you feel divorced from a man? Or did you feel like divorced from, like what exactly and specifically do you mean there? Who did you feel divorced from? And I'm hoping that you're still there, Jay Diamonds. Because, men, okay, so what made you feel that way? Was it a bad breakup? Was it some piece of crap? Was it, what is it? Were you serious about a guy and y'all just lived together? Because I'm taking it you probably lived with him, bad luck with him. So can I, if you don't mind sharing, how old are you? And I'm not saying age is everything. It just gives me a better insight. It gives me a better insight on what I'm about to say here. 44. Okay, so you're our age. Okay. So, what I would say is, it is not too late. What up? What up? What up, David? I would say it's not too late to find, good. You should, first of all, everybody should be happy on their own, right? Be happy with who they are. But we gain so much more by being partnered with someone. We gain more knowledge. We gain a different insight into life. Because don't get it twisted. Being with someone, right, causes you to be 100% unselfish and to put someone else first. That's the hardest thing about marriage, I would say. It's the easiest and the hardest thing to do, right? It's the easiest thing because you make this choice. Yeah, I'm 100%, I love me, I love who I am, and I'm going to be 100%, I'm going to give you 100% of who I am, right? I'm going to put all my all into you, right? And I'm going to do this for the betterment of you. I want to do this for you. I want to do this. And I may not be wording it exactly the right way that I'm thinking it, but it's like being with someone is a headache, fam. It's difficult, but it's only a headache. It's only a headache if it could be a headache for multiple reasons. If they're a crappy partner, if they're 100% selfish, but you can't control any of that, right? You can only control you. So I know in my previous marriage, I noticed that a lot of the things that I did, and I've also talked with my ex-wife, a lot of the things that she did, we always felt like we weren't appreciated by each other. And the funny thing is if we say we do something for someone else, why do we care about their reaction? It makes sense, right? It makes sense emotionally. Well, I want to be appreciated. I want to be appreciated for that. But let me say it again. If we do something for someone else, we are doing it for them. We are doing it because we love them. Why do we need anything back in return? That's very selfish, right? So if I do something, so what I'm saying is that I work all the time, right, for my family, for the betterment of my family, right? Well, if I come home and I say they're being ungrateful because I do that, well then no, I'm doing that for me, right? I'm doing that for me. Because if I'm doing it for them, I don't need to see it. I don't need to see them being grateful. I want it, no doubt I want it, but I don't need it, if that makes sense. She hates it that I give her crap about this, but I bought my wife 2 dozen roses, right, and had to send to her job. And she was a little embarrassed by that, and she got upset with me over it. And it hurt my feelings that she got upset about it. But if I did it just for her, right, why do I care what her reaction is? I did it for her. So, and that goes to a deep level. Do stuff for your partner without expecting anything back, without needing anything back. Get rid of expectations, because that relationship is going to be what it is, if that makes sense. I don't know what that emoji means. What is it? What is that, an owl? And that sucks, right? Or it can suck. What I've learned is that you can see the thank yous, and you could see, oh, most definitely you're having a normal feeling, for sure. But again, if you're doing it for them, right? Because that allows you to learn. You know, they have this thing called love languages, and they break it down. I am completely off subject, I know, but we spent an hour on subject. I actually did a good job staying on subject for an hour. So I did a great job staying on subject. So there we go. So when you do something for someone else, right? They say you got these languages, and within reason, I get it. Everybody has got all of them, but some people lean towards one more than the other. So if you're gonna buy gifts for someone, and they're like, yeah, thanks, okay, and they're not excited about it, maybe they don't like getting gifts. Why are you upset? Did you take the time to figure out what they really want? Did you take the time to learn your partner? Right? Did you take the time to actually do what your partner wants? And this is funny because it's like, oh, I'm about to upset some people. I see we got some people in here, and I know some of them are women. And Jay Diamonds, this might upset you.
Hey, but you told David Simon's depressed life.
Yeah, I do like that. So I love you for that, Jay Diamonds. I love you for that. Right? Look,
No.
men, there's women, men should take the time to figure out what their woman wants, what makes her happy, what makes her tick. Now, I'm not saying do everything to make her happy, but don't buy the woman roses if she don't want roses. I learned that the hard way. Don't just buy her something if she doesn't want you to buy something. Don't just do stuff for her. It's a sweet gesture, but don't be upset if she's not appreciative of it. Because if that's not something she wanted, it's not something she wanted. You did it for her, cool. Learn from it. Do something differently, right? But now women. I can't speak of all men. I can speak on me and the fellas that I know. I'm old school. And I'm old school to the point where an old woman has broken this down. Older women break it down so easily. Keep his belly full, his mind clear, and his nuts empty. Happy man.
Say that again.
I guess that's a cosign, right? I guess that's a cosign. See, so
The facts.
keep his belly full, right? Now, no doubt, when my wife goes on vacation somewhere, I don't eat the same. I eat a little bit differently, right? There's not full course meals made. I'll be the first one because that seems like a waste of time to me. It's like I can survive on this sandwich. I'm good. I can eat my eggs for breakfast, a sandwich for lunch, and a sandwich for dinner. I'm Gucci. I'm chilling. I'm good. So belly's full, head clear. Meaning there's no reason, if your man, this would bug me. If I get asked to do something and I do it, but you don't like the way I got it done and you go off on me, I don't want to do it anymore. It's causing me more drama to do something, right? If you talk to me, I might mess it up, but I'll eventually get it, right? No need to bring drama in my life on a consistent basis, right? Let my head be clear and keep my nuts empty. When I hear older women say keep a man's belly full, his head clear, and his nuts empty, you'll have a good life. This is the funny part. Some women will buck at that. Well, why I gotta do all that? Why do I have to do all that? Do you want a happy life? It's amazing when you talk to those older couples that have been married 50, 70 years, whatever the case may be, and a woman says that, they're like, why do I have to do all that? Because the man then wants to do anything you want him to do. Seems simple.
Old school women know the drill.
Yes. Oh, what's her name? Tamini? She said you don't have to, you should want to. Oh! They said it, I didn't. These women know. And so then here's the thing. So Jay Diamonds, if you know the drill, right? Old school women know the drill. You grew up like that too. Cool. Then I would challenge. It's not making the man earn that, but trust the man to be who he is. I talk about it often. The great philosopher DMX said, trust everybody to be who they are. Don't waste energy trying to figure out if they're a snake. They'll show you. So if you get a man, if you get a man and he isn't doing, if you're old school like that, let's not get it twisted. Jay Diamonds, if you're old school like that, man, I just did a self-defense seminar, right? That's why if a dude mess up, I have the right to go upside his head too. Well, that's a whole different thing. A woman going upside a man, you better. I don't think men should hit women, but I also don't think women should hit men. But that's a whole nother story. So I talked about this at my self-defense seminar I did for a group of vet techs and people that work in Humane Society. And I said, look, man, like, I don't care what people sit here and talk about. Society is society. The society paints rules and makes people naive. There are plenty of messed up people out there that will snatch you up, that will grab you, that will sexually assault you, blah, 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 blah. And I'm saying all this for a reason. I'm old school. My wife does not walk on the curbside. She walks inside. Because if a car is going to pull up on that curb or do something, it's happening to me first. Right? If we are crossing the street, I am on the side of ongoing traffic. I open up the car door, right? I like all these things that people say, oh, that's old school. We shouldn't have to do that. Men and women are not equal. Women are super dope all on their own. Women are dope in ways that I couldn't even imagine being dope. And men are dope in other ways. And it just so happens men are typically stronger than women, so they should be putting themselves in danger first. Now, the only time that doesn't happen is if we're walking on a tight sidewalk. I don't want my wife walking behind me because then I cannot see behind me. I put my wife right in front of me, right? Depending on the situation. So if a person walks by, I get to see their actions. And every situation is different in that regard. Now, I'm talking about that because if you're an old school, wait, how she pronounce that? Tammany. Yeah, okay. So I say that, J Diamonds, if you're an old school woman and you believe that, and you know you're gonna cook for your man, you're gonna let him let him have his own peace, and you know his nuts are gonna be empty, then you know what kind of man you need. And if you're picking different men than that, then it's time to change. And if you're putting God first, oh yeah, you'll definitely find a man like that. We had a guy on here, a pastor, right? Mm-hmm. And he said he's the leader of his house. He makes the decisions. Now, J Diamonds, I challenge you. Are you able to let that man lead? And leadership comes with different rule sets. How I lead is not the same way the pastor leads, right? Pastor said if he wants to paint a room blue and she wants to paint the room green, the room is getting painted blue. Cool. I'm not like that, right? I'm like, I can lead by sitting in the passenger seat sometimes, right? So, because I know if my wife, basically, if something happens, I can pull us out of whatever it is, right? In some situations, I step in and say, no, chill. No, chill. And we got to go this way. So I'll do that if I see we're getting too off course. So, but yeah, being submissive is a thing. Yeah. So it sounds like maybe you just ran into the wrong guys, or maybe you needed to learn lessons. Better yet, not the wrong guys. There were certain lessons you needed to learn. Maybe you needed to learn what guy you really wanted. And that sucks because, and then maybe you're picking the wrong qualities. I do know a lot of women that have done that, and men do it too. You pick the wrong qualities. Picking the girl with the big butt, she's bad and all, but she may not be the best for you. She could be fine, but she ain't the best for you. That man could have been dope and laid the pipe, but he ain't the best for you. Yeah, honestly. And it's amazing how when people get older, they start to realize the importance of putting God first and putting something bigger than yourself first, right? Because then everything else gets easier. We're at 18,000. Oh my goodness. Y'all got me so close right now. Whoo. So if you keep down that road, you'll get the right man. You know what I'm saying? Like, might meet him in a church. Might meet him out and about. And See if that man follows it. And that's a big thing. We talked about it, on You Don't Want One? I'm Good? Ooh. Ooh. How about AJ Diamonds? Follow me here. Why let's not put a limitation on that, mama. Exactly. That's where I'm going. Thank you. Oh my goodness, she worded that so dope. Give it to God, he will take care of it. Yes. But if you say you don't want a man, even when God presents that man, you will not receive it. Oh my goodness. That just came out of my mouth?
Yeah, it did.
Because what we speak, how we speak and what we speak, we're putting that energy out to the universe. We will block our blessings in a heartbeat. So it's not that you don't want a man, you're waiting until the right man comes. Or better yet, you're waiting until a man is presented to you with the things that you deserve, that you should have. I just want to raise your kids. Raise your kids, and you may not get a man right now. You may not get a man. But please don't block your blessings. And it sounds like you're still hurt. And that's understandable. If he did something wrong, that's understandable. But now you got to grieve through it. That was the whole episode, grieving, right? Getting over grief, getting over losing someone. You got to go through those stages, mama. You got to go through that so you don't block your blessings later on. Because if God doesn't want you to have a man right now, you won't have a man right now. But if you keep saying, I don't want a man, 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 even when he presents it, you'll be like, I don't want a man. Now who you're listening to? You're making a choice, right? You control you, you're making a choice, but now that choice is not listening and following the path put upon you. You gotta grieve. You gotta grieve. Somebody hurt you, that's okay. Grieve, go through it, boom. Grieve, go through it, and you'll come out stronger on the other side. You'll come out healed. You'll come out a better version of you because you went through that pain. Right now, you're just holding on to that pain. And let me tell you right now, if you have a son and you hang on to that pain, it's going to damage that son. If you have a daughter and you're hanging on to that pain, you are now handing that pain to her. And her viewpoint upon men is going to be not good. So it is incumbent onto you to handle that. It's very hard. It's very hard. And you're talking to a man that's been through a divorce. It's hard. My daughter's mother told me she was not ready to get married a month from our wedding. I didn't know what to do with that. That hurt. Ended up selling my house, moving. Like, I was hurt. And I've been through a divorce, so I get it. I have empathy. It sucks, right? But it also made me stronger. It helped me figure out more things that I wanted. And it helped me let go and detach a little bit more and trust that I have to go after the things that I want in my life and improve myself. I have to constantly improve myself. I think they traumatized me for real. The men, that sucks, yo. But what do you do with that trauma? Do you stay in that pain? Do you stay in that hurt? Because trauma's a cut, right? So let me see if I can get a close-up view. Can you even see those scars, Corey? If not, that's fine. If not, that's fine. He's gonna zoom in. So follow me right here, Jay. Follow me right here, Jay Diamonds. So right here is this scar, right? So at one time, on both arms. Yeah, both of them sliced up, knife fights. Well, this one's a car accident. This one's a knife fight. So that trauma, all right, you can scroll it back. Thank you, Corey. Yeah. So that trauma is a cut. The people that hurt you cut you. There is nothing they could do to take that cut back. Nothing. When you lose someone, it's a cut. However, how it heals is up to you. So if you want it to heal and scar and close, you got to go through it. You got to clean it out. You got to become better, and you got to let it close. And that's the hard part. But you could do it. And it'll always be a cut, right? It'll always be a cut. But that skin right there where it's keloid is harder. It's much tougher. It's tougher skin. It's not the best to look at, but it's tougher skin for sure. And it's a reminder of what you could go through. Because now, think about it this way, Jay Diamonds, when that man comes through and he's a good man and you guys are going through it, you can look back and say, I've been through worse. I can make this and my marriage will survive or my relationship will survive. That's how I look at my marriage now. It's not like it's perfect. Me and my wife will get into it, right? My wife and I will for sure get into it. But there's no thought about a divorce. There's no thought about anything because I know I've been through it. I made a vow. I'm a man of my word. I'm sticking around forever. Because I've been through so much worse. This is good. This is just a moment. This is just a moment. We'll have better moments. Yeah. Oh my goodness, we're in that. Oh my goodness. Man, thank you. I appreciate that, Irish Brian. I hope everyone's learning. I'm learning by just talking. I appreciate y'all so much.
What's crazy is this came full circle. It came right back.
It came right back to grief. It always because this is what blows my mind is that the world is so simple. We started talking about grief. We went into a different direction that got into relationships, that got into being hurt, and then it just goes right back to grief and how to deal with it. Because life is circular. It's simple. People are in your life and then they are not in your life. That's just the cycle of life. Whether it's death, whether they left, whether whatever. And we hit 20. Oh my goodness. Ah! Ugh. Man. Oh, man.
Oh, yeah.
Yo.
Keep tapping, though.
Man, thank y'all. Like, I cannot stress to y'all how much this means. It's just weird. Thank you. And those of you that were with me yesterday, I'm like, I know that's super amazing with 30. Yeah, that's crazy. Y'all going nuts. Because I'm going to enjoy it. And then halfway on the ride home, I'm going to be like, ooh, it's time for 30.
Boy, you're at 21.
Oh, my goodness, y'all going crazy. Man, I appreciate y'all. And Irish Brian, like, look, I tell my students all the time, I just try to help people based on what I've experienced. Like, I've experienced so much. I got arthritis. Well, you know what? I pray that you find someone that can massage your fingers and your wrist. Staying relentless. Man. Yeah, so I don't wish it upon anyone, but I'm very blessed that I went through it. Like, it is what it is. It's life. Life is beautiful. It's constantly teaching us something. Your finger game is on point. I got some dirty jokes for that one. I'm about to start my second listen through. Yeah, that book's dope. I would tell you to read the book Winning by Tim Grover. That's crazy too. Man, thank y'all so much. Look, man, I'm such a softie sometimes. I get emotional over nothing. Um, Thank y'all. It's funny because if y'all would have been here when Corey and I were trying to plan this stuff out, I was getting so mad, so frustrated that thank you, True. Um, there's been so many renditions of this. This is like the one, two, three. This is the third or fourth style of this, and this is the one that's is sticking. So I'm just I tell people all the time, I'm just a man that's been through some stuff. I'm not I'm not the smartest man in the world, not even close. I'm just a person that actually likes to talk. And I'm very audio and I like to talk through everything. And it helps me sort things out in my brain. Bro, Michael, thank you. Oh my goodness, that's incredible, man. You are what I look forward to every Monday, man. Thank you so much. Jay Diamonds, I'm glad I could thank you today. You must have had a huge bench. I don't know what that means.
Scroll up, maybe I messed up.
Bro, I've been listening to you for 20. Everything happens. Makes so much sense. I know he meant sense. Sense. Oh, yeah, it is. I see what he's saying. It's a huge benchmark.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's. Man, I'm glad I can help y'all, man. Learn and share with that's not judgmental, of course.
You about to be my own.
Hey, I tell people all the time, yo, just DM me. I do coach people. I do help people. I don't get it twisted though. I'm pretty direct. I will empathize. I will understand. I will go through it with you, but I'm gonna give you direct and tell you when you're messing up, and I will tell you when you're doing amazing things. So it's like I'm here. Like, so all you got to do is DM me and we work the rest out. So I'm always down to coach people. I've definitely been doing more of that. So I've also been wanting to do something like this in hopes to help someone out there just like you. Yeah. All I would say is direct is what's missing nowadays. Yeah. So, and Jay Diamond's like, just for real, hit me up. Hit me up for sure. Work something out. I got you. So don't give up on all men. So and anyone thinking about doing this, just do it. Just do it. As Nike said, do it. And it's really not that hard. You just start talking. Like, thank you, True. I just talk about what I've been through and try to help people based off that. This teenage girl messaged me and said she's been going through loss and she wanted me to talk about how I deal with grief. Hence the topic, right? So I'm down to do that all the time. So y'all can hit me with messages. Y'all can let me know what you want me to talk about. And the cool thing is I'm down to learn right along with y'all. So if y'all give me something that I'm not even familiar with, I'll have fun going down the rabbit hole figuring it out. Yeah, 22 is crazy. But I don't shy away from my background. I'm about to be a 44-year-old man that has been through a divorce, remarried, 2 kids, grew up being sexually abused, physically abused, mentally abused, called the N-word every week, and did a lot of knucklehead things and a lot of dumb things, and still standing. So if I'm still standing, I have to give back. I have to help others. I've played with death a couple times. So, and I'm still here. So this is what we got to do. So 50K come out in the 50, man. If y'all hit 50, I'm not staying on that much longer, so I don't even know how many. But next Monday we can hit 50K for real. So man, I'm 50, divorced, 4 kids, 3 baby mamas, and all the stupid in between. Yeah, it's tough, but you still alive. So all you do is put a smile on your face, and man, like it's a blessing. It's a blessing.
He's here to learn.
Exactly.
He's coming home. He's trying to learn.
Yeah, you just learn from it. Think about all the advice you can help your kids with. If you go through the pain and if you go through all the stuff so you are healed, so you can give a true perspective of life to other people. I don't blame my ex-wife for the things she did. I hold myself accountable for the things that I've done. I don't blame my mother's daughter for her leaving. I hold myself accountable for the things that I've done. I've learned from it. I've become better from it. So it is what it is. I'm not perfect. So even if someone else might say they were in the wrong, cool. I'm not perfect. Let me focus on me. And now I can give a great perspective to other people. I have forgiven the people in my life. That's a big thing. Everything in your life starts with you. Starts and ends, baby. On that note, man, thank y'all so much. This is the longest podcast we've done thus far, and I'm happy we did it. True, keep tuning in, man. And let me know what you're bottling up. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it for sure. So just DM me. Let's talk about it. I'll talk about it online, and I don't even have to say who it's about. I'll just talk about it, and we can get it cracking. Michael, you're so welcome. Thank you to everybody who jumped in that got tendonitis from hitting click, the click button and the like button. I appreciate y'all so much. Irish Brian, you're always sending gifts and stuff, man. I appreciate you. Tanisha, thank you for the gift. Thank you, everybody who tuned in. I appreciate y'all so much. Make sure you follow. I will be on next Monday for sure, possibly this Thursday. Just set the notifications up so you get hit up when I go online, because sometimes I'll just go online in the gym. Sometimes I'll just go online when I'm in the office. Just stay in tune with me, and we'll just keep going from there, man. We just fam. Am I coming on Thursday morning? Corey, am I coming on Thursday morning?
I'll be here. You let me know.
Let's do it, because I'm already going to be here for a meeting afterwards. So let's do it. Yes, I'll be here Thursday morning. Yeah, just tune in, yo. Let's keep it moving. Thank y'all again. I appreciate y'all so much. 22 likes, 22,000 likes. Oh my goodness, we shattering records. Thank y'all so much. Remember, you control you. Also, go to the TikTok shop. My hoodies and my t-shirts are there. Go cop you one. You control you, baby. Love y'all. Peace.